Talk about how the Asian and Asian American Research Institute at CUNY is helping change things from a policy perspective.
By studying small businesses, for example, and knowing what issues they encounter, and then understanding why, we're able to help to policymakers to understand how their policies hurt rather than help, and to help them think about mechanisms for helping these communities. So for example, let's say that there's a piece of legislation that requires you to provide ventilation systems. And let's assume that the ventilation systems cost a great deal of money, $50,000 to $100,000. The average small business doesn't have that fund available to instantaneously comply with the law. And so what happens? In that case, the business is in danger of closing. If it closes, not only does the owner lose his livelihood, but the workers lose their opportunities as well. So the question becomes, what can be done in a case like that? Well, certainly if we know that there is a market for ventilation systems and these people don't have the money, is it possible to set aside a part of a revolving loan fund specifically for this sector? And those are the kinds of things people need to think about. Also, the policymakers need to understand the business barriers and issues that folks deal with, such as nobody is going to invest in a $50,000 piece of equipment if they only have 2 years left on their lease. And so perhaps the legislation needs to change and say that businesses that have been in existence for the last 5 years are exempt from this. Or perhaps we need to give people 5 years to come into compliance. There need to be adjustments given who it is that these pieces of legislation and these policies impact.
What kind of achievements do you think you've made so far in some of these things?
I think that we've actually been able to have a great deal of impact in terms of bringing these issues to people's attention. There was a similar situation a number of years ago where we were able to bring together the manufacturers of the equipment, finance companies that were willing to finance people's purchases of equipment, as well as the regulatory agencies. We were able to bring them together in a forum. And we were, in fact, able to get once they understood what the issues were that people were facing, the regulatory agency actually extended the time for people to comply. So there can be impact when a trusted broker like a university or academic organization comes in purely to present the data. And based on that data, they can come to some conclusions with respect to what the needs of the community are.